Okay, so it's 9:45. I think we can start. Uh, a couple of things. I'm using a Wi-Fi to be connected in case that for some reason the audio is not okay, or you see that the screen that I'm sharing is not okay. Please let me know, and I can switch to yeah, with a cable. I can use an Ethernet cable. Uh, okay, more things to explain. I will. So yeah, today we will have a software. The course is the software carpentry that will be in the mornings this week. We have an ARCHER2 code of conduct that the idea of this code is be nice each other, use inclusive language, be respectful. In case that there are any issues, please feel free to let me know. Well, today we have or this week we will have a small group of people, so you will have the chance to unmute in case that you have any questions or anything. But yeah, please be mute during the lesson in order, yeah, not to interfere uh, with the audio. Also, the idea of this workshop is to be interactive, or to ask as many questions as you have. So please use the chat to ask questions. Well, there is a everyone chat that you can use, of course, to ask questions. And also, please feel free to like send me a direct message in case that, yeah, any questions or anything. And in case that rather than typing the question, you want to unmute yourself, please raise your hand. Yeah, you can use the microphone to ask the question. Okay, what else? Well, this is something optional in case you may see that I have a picture, my avatar. So you can use one in your, um, yeah, as a avatar. So you go to the bottom right part of the screen, you will find a cogwheel. There you can upload a picture, an avatar with any image that you may. And another point before I forget, all of these lessons will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So in case that for some reason you want to go again through the lesson, or yeah, review the video, this will be available to every one of you. Okay, so this is yeah, a bit of instructions. I will share my screen. One moment. Here. So I will paste on the chat the scope in the one moment. Yeah, and based in the, if you go to the ARCHER2 website and you click of training, upcoming training, you will find a list of courses that are open, and one of them is the software carpentry here. So if you click on that course, you will find some info about the course, and here there is a link that is the course materials. So if we click there, I will paste the link on the chat. you will find some, I will make the font a little bit bigger, some general information about the course, what they mentioned about the code of conduct. Also, there will be some collaborative notes that will be a shared notebook. The surveys, these surveys are used by the carpentries to see the impact of the lessons and to have some statistics. So there is a pre-workshop survey. Thanks for filling it that and post-workshop survey that this is done like at the end of the. So the schedule today is yeah, we will learn a little bit about the Unix share. Tuesday and Wednesday we will learn a bit about Python. Python will be very like an introduction, so you don't need it to let's say to have any knowledge of Python, and also would yeah could be in case that you know about Python, will be a refresher of the basic concepts of use yeah build a program using Python. On Thursday, please note that this day is shorter. Rather than finishing at 1, we will finish at noon, at 12. So it will be an hour learning a little bit about the make, half an hour break, and then another hour learning about the make. And on Friday, we will learn about Git, how to use version control. And here at the bottom, there is like some instructions on how to install the tools. Also, the idea of these workshops, as I said, this is the idea is to be interactive. So please ask questions if you have them. But there's we have the lesson. I will follow this lesson that is here, the Unix shell, but this is like a more hands-on. So what I will share is I will share the share window, and we will start typing. And it is recommended that in case that you have two screens, you can have maybe in one screen the window, the Blackboard Collaborate window, and in other window the share. Or also another way is in the if you have one screen to to try to have like maybe half of the window the share and half of the window the lesson. Well, this is for the setup. We will need to have a share that not sure if you have Windows. You can use GitBus, or you can also use WSL. The thing is Windows subsystem for Linux that you can install Ubuntu or any other Linux distribution. For Mac, I think you can use a terminal that is already available on your operating system, or same with the Linux. The only thing that we will need to do is well, we will use this share lesson data, this file, so we will need to download it. So I think if I click here, yeah, it's automatically downloaded. We will need to move the file to our desktop. We will unzip and play with the files. Okay, so next is introducing the shell. This first part will keep talking for a little while, but later we will move to type commands and see how everything works. And all commands and everything will be in this lesson, but I will switch on share the the terminal. I will make this bigger. So okay, why we need to, why is it useful to use or to learn the shell? When we use our laptop using Windows, Mac, Linux, we use normally it's called a GUI, a graphical user interface. So we use our mouse, we click on a folder, we open the folder, or if we want to execute software, we double click on the icon of the software and we can use it. It's quite useful and it's quite easy to use and make life easier for everyone. I'm talking about using the laptop, but also if we use the phone or we use a tablet, we don't even need a mouse. We can just touch the screen, and also for typing rather than a keyboard, we can use the screen as well. To that is a keyboard, and you can use it. There are plenty of options, as is everything quite easy. The problem that we may have is that, for instance, if rather than using our laptop, we want to use another machine, if we're using a HPC cluster, or we are using, I know that the universities sometimes they provide some computing to run some scripts or do something else on another computer. In that case, we will need to use it's called a command line interface. So we will have a screen. The only way of interacting is using the keyboard, typing some commands and executing them. So that's the motivation of today to learn about the Unix shell. So I'm talking about here is a bit about the history about the shell. Today we will use it's called bash. That this is a type of shell. It's an acronym, acronym that is born again shell, because Stephen Born was the person who wrote this version of. I think on Mac there is a different version, or depending on the machine that you connect, could be a different different shell. But yeah, the concept that we will learn today can be applied to other shells. So okay, I will share my other window. Let's see if okay, I need to switch, I need to stop sharing. And now again, window. I think I can also make this a little bit more. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I guess that everyone can see my. This is what I mean, that sometimes if we want to use another machine that is not our laptop, or well, also we can use the terminal on our laptop, we will need to use something like that. That this is the shell. Here, the idea is that if I type a command, for instance, pwd, I will get an output. I type and then I press enter and I get the pwd means it's an acronym, means a personal working directory, or think it's, yeah, so in that case, the output tells me where I am. So in this case, I'm in the folder. This is my username. Sorry, this part is my username and the folder where I am, and tells you the path of path means yeah, the directory's structure where you. So we are in C. That this is our disk. Then it's a slash is the means like it's a folder. So C, inside the C that is the folder users, and inside the users that is this folder. My username JRodrigue6. I guess if you are using other terminals, you may find a different outputs or different. So please can I ask if everyone has like this window or a similar one, or which terminal are you using? Please feel free to use the chat to answer. Great. The one that I'm using here is the Git bash, but also in the lesson is recommended. Well, recommended. If you want, you can use another one that is the Windows. What is called VSL. Windows Assistant for Linux. That I can show it. I can switch the. I think it's this one. Takes a couple of seconds to switch the. So you see, this is another terminal that also, but it works the same. If I type pwd, I will get well. In this case, I get a different path. I get /home / my username, that is JuanFRH. But you see, but yeah, of course, more or less the same. I will switch back to the previous terminal. That is the one that is like recommended in the lesson. But yeah, there might be some features that they could work or not. We'll go through them. Okay, so also is explained on the documentation that we have this dollar symbol. This is the prompt. This is this tell us that the shell is available and we can type commands on it. There is if we go one moment to the, if we do ls, that this is our first command. Well, second, because we have already used pwd. ls tell us the files and the directories that we have on our. So if we do ls, well, I see that in my case, I have a lot of folders. In this case, for instance, use colors to indicate that this is a folder. Also use this when they use the slash, means that this is a folder. When it's a link, they use the ampersand. And what else? Here we don't have executable files. If we have an exe file, it will show in green. Also, in case that for some reason, rather than typing ls, we type ks, we will get a message saying that the command is not found. Also, another motivation of why we will need to learn a little bit about a shell. I mentioned before, one motivation is to, in case that we need to log in somewhere else. And another motivation is in case that we want to analyze a bunch of files. in the documentation is explained that we could have the case that we go to we do some experimentation, and we get, imagine we get 1,000 files, and for each file we will need to use a software to process that file. We can do it with the graphical user interface, where we can click on the file, or well, click on the software, open the file, do the process the file and get the results and write them on a file, etc. But imagine that each file, the processing of the file would take 30 seconds, and we have 1,000 files. So we will need to click the file, wait for 30 seconds, and then save the output. Click another file, wait 30 seconds, save the output. So that would be, days of work just doing this 1,000 operations. This could be done using a script. In the script, you write, okay, for each file that is in this folder, please execute that command. And you can leave your laptop and you can work on something else, and your laptop will work on this file processing. So this is another reason to learn shell. Also, we will see that Python could be used for that, but shell will be another way to do scripting. So I was talking about directories, files, etc. I explained that when we type pwd, tell us where we are, and another command to learn is how to move between folders. If I scroll here, we see that I have a folder that is called desktop, and I would like to move to that folder. So to that I will use a cd. Cd means change the directory, cd desktop. If I execute that, you see also that the top tells me also is the current directory. This tilde means my personal directory. My personal directory is the one that I was before, that is C users G Roderick 6, but I have moved to a desktop directory. If I type pwd, will tell me that inside my directory, I'm now in the desktop directory, and now I can do ls, and you will see that I have 2 folders. You can see that with the colors, and also because they end with this slash. This is in Git bash. If we use another terminal, you will see that you may have colors or not, or you may not have this. We will see later how we can get them. And here is downloaded this shell lesson data.zip that I have previously unzip. In case that you haven't done so, you can do unzip shell lesson data.zip. Well, because I already have this, they ask me if I want to replace, and they know. Well, they will ask me for a way to, for instance, to let's say break or exit the command is if you press Ctrl and C. you press Ctrl C, you stop the execution. Please let me know if in case that you have any issues unzipping this share lesson data. Also, I can give me a second. I can paste the where it is here in the copy link chat. Yeah, there is the. Okay, where we are. As I said, if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to use the chat. Okay, getting help because we use okay, LS, we get the list, but if for some reason we don't remember what it does, or we need to we want to see the options of the command, we can type ls ---- help. If we do that, we print the help of the command ls. If we scroll up, we see the way of usage. So it's ls. You have different options, and also you can specify the file or the folder that you want to list of use. Options that we will see today. We will use -h. That -h prints the file size in a human readable format. -l, I think we will use it as well. This one, that this is using a long listing format. Also, we can play with the size, reverse, time. We will see all of these options. There is another option that is not available on GitBash that is using man. Man means, well, it's like a short of a manual. So if you type a man ls, in this case, we don't have that on our, but in other terminals, you may have some. I will switch to the other terminal and you can see. The thing with GitBash is that have like doesn't have that much features. It's like a reduced version of say the Unix. So here, if I do ls, I have a bunch of files. But if I type a man ls, I get the documentation of, and it's the same. So you see minus what the options that we want to use today. We can use, yeah, -h, human readable, and also we have a -l. -l is listed. Yeah, it's here, long listing format. And here, well, you see also that I have colors, but I can also use ls capital F, and you see that you get added this slash, or when we have this file that is an exe file is treated in green, and we have this asterisk here. This is in case that we don't have colors. There are in some terminals, colors are disabled. So this is just in case that. Okay, I will switch back to the other terminal. But you see that, yeah, features are normally are similar. Okay, so we are here. Also, we will have I explained to you that we have some like options, ls minus L. If we use that, you see that the output is different. So when we do ls minus L, we have the files rather than like being listed like for each line there is a file or a directory. Also, they tell us when this was created, the user that the file belongs, this will be the group that, don't know why it's a number. You may have a different number of different name. And this is not covered in the documentation. This is like in a advanced course that I can share the link later. These are the permissions of the file. Well, I can briefly explain. So, well, we have here the first is if we have a D means that this is a directory. So new folder is a directory, and share lesson data is a directory. The next three are the permissions. R means read, W is write, and X is execute. So the user, that is me, we have a read, write, and execution permissions. This is for the group, that this is this number, because users in operating system could belong to groups. So we can have different permissions for the group. So other users that are in the same group, they will have a read and execution permissions, but you see that they don't have a write permissions. There's no W there. And this is the same for the rest of users. If you see for the files, it's different. We don't have in this case, we don't have execution permissions for anyone, and the user have a read write, but other users of the group or other users, they have only read access. Also, you see here, this column is the file size. You see that the output is in bytes, but in case that you want a human readable output, you can get you can execute ls minus lh, and you will see that rather than getting the number of bytes, you will get 450 kilobytes. Any questions so far? In case that we use an option that doesn't exist, for instance, ls minus j, we will get an error that will say, this option doesn't exist. Please use ls minus helper for more information. If I do ls is done in my current directory, but if for some reason I want to do ls in another directory, I can specify that. I can do ls shell the lesson data, and it will list the folders or the directories that are inside the directory that I have specified in the command line. And I can move I can move to that directory if I want to with the command cd shell lesson data. Also, a trick I would like to explain is because if the folder is, the name is could be quite long, I could either type it, that is a shell lesson data, but there is a trick in case that we don't want to type the whole command, that is typing the first, for instance, the first two letters of the folder, and then I can press the tab. If I press the tab in my keyboard, I get all the whole name of the directory without typing all of them. I'm using, you will notice that I'm using like a directory folder, but yeah, it's like the same concept. I'm trying to like stick to a directory, but sometimes you will hear me use a folder, just to let you know that is the same. So now if I type a pwd, you will see that I'm in another, yeah, in the folder desktop and share lesson data. So if I do ls, yeah, I get these two directories, but there is another option that is printing hidden files directories. So if I do ls -a, you will see that I have two other directories here. I have well, these directories that are, let's say, not hidden, but they have these two. One dot means current directory, and these two dots means the parent directory. So this is the path. I'm now here in share lesson data. The parent directory will be desktop. Oops, this. So if I do cd dot, I will move to the previous directory, to the parent directory. Now if I do pwd, you will see that I'm in desktop rather than share lesson data. And the one dot means my current directory. So for instance, if I do cd dot, there will be no change because I'm moving to my current directory. So it's no, this is normally used in case that we want to do, for instance, a copy or on our directory. We will specify it with the dot. Okay, I will move back to the previous, well, to the share lesson data. Okay, let me check if there is something that I haven't explained. Okay, this is something that, to be honest, I don't normally use, but yeah, maybe some people use it. I will explain it to you in case that you find it useful. You remember that before I moved to the parent directory, so I'm now in desktop. In case that I want to go back to my previous location, what I have done is type cd share lesson data. But if in case that I don't want to do that, let's say that, yeah, I'm now in the parent directory, I could type a cd minus, and this will move me to the previous directory that I was, so it will move me back to the previous location. So this is something that maybe you may find useful. But I need to admit, for instance, that I don't normally use that. But yeah, just to let you know that this could be possible. There is a concept here in the documentation that would be like useful to know, that is, I'm talking all the time about the path. The path is let's see where I am in the directory structure. And that is the concept of absolute path or relative path. So if I do ls, you see that there are two folders here. Relative path is like a subset of, let's see how can I explain it. Well, maybe it's easier to explain the absolute path that this is given if we use PWD. The absolute path is like from a root, that is like the where the directory structure starts. This is the whole, let's say, whole file path. This is our disk, that this is like represented by the letter C, the folder directory C. Then we have users, my username, desktop, and the folder where I am now. A relative path could be something like that, the one that I have copied here. So if I'm in my, if I'm in this directory, I could type desktop and share lesson data, and I will be here. But if I'm, because I'm not in here, I'm in this, if I type that, it will tell me that yeah, it doesn't exist. But if I move, I can move to my personal directory. If I type a cd space and this tilde, you will see now that I'm here. So if I execute, well, what I'm doing now is you can see the commands that you have typed if you press the up arrow. So you see that if I execute now cd desktop share lesson data, I move, I can use this relative path and move to the folder where I want to be. If again I type pwd, you will see that I'm in this folder. Okay, but I see, I'm checking the chat, I see that there are no questions, so I will continue. Please, as I said, any questions or in case that I'm going too fast, too slow, please let me know. This part maybe could be a little bit slow, but later we will, when we use scripts, etc., will be more, let's say, more challenging. More. So in the documentation is explain how we can, yeah, the part of, because I can do, if I type ls minus, okay, let me see the directories that we have. Can do ls minus lh exercise data. So the part of a command I already explained that this is the prompt. That is normally it's a dollar symbol. You may find like an arrow or yeah, what is a character. The command that I'm using, that is ls. The options that I want to use, that in this case I'm using minus lh. So L is for list, H human readable, and then the argument that in this case is the folder that I want to list. So if I do that, you see that inside this folder we have all of these. We have 4 directories and one file. Okay, let me check if I'm forgetting something. Okay, I think this is all of this part. Okay, and here. I'm just taking that, yeah, we are still more or less on time. So now that we know how to move, how to list directories or check the contents or move between directories, what we will learn is how to create, delete directories, create files, etc. So for that, I will move to the further exercise data writing. And now if I do ls, we see that we have two files. I can execute pwd, and you can see where you are in the directory structure. And also, well, a command that they haven't explained is to how to see the contents of a file. That is normally the command cat. I see that there is a question in the chat that is the cd tilde the same if you use Windows or Linux? Yes, is the same there, but maybe I haven't tried with the PowerShell. Let me yeah, it's the same. It works the same for Windows, Linux, I assume it's the same for Mac. I was just using because also Windows has, you may know about the PowerShell, that is slightly different, and yeah, it used the same. Can later share and let you know how. Okay, so we are here in this folder, and we can create a directory. How we can create a directory? We can use, well, the command is make the mkdir, that stands for make a directory. Also, I haven't asked, is the font large enough? I think so, but if not, please let me know and I can make it bigger. So if I execute mkdir, and I can create a folder called thesis. Now if I do ls, you will see that I have these two files, and I have a folder called thesis. So I can move to that folder, cd thesis, and do ls, and we will see that I think I can make this a bit bigger. You see that, yeah, the folder is empty. Okay, here is explained when we create that this is important when we create files or directories, etc. There are some recommended to, for instance, and don't use spaces. In the Windows, you can use spaces, but make things a bit more difficult, because if you call it the folder, let's say my thesis, you will need to use quotation marks to move to this folder. But if you use just like a word without the spaces, you can save using quotation marks. Also, don't create a folder that starts with the dash, because this could mean an option. So if I do if I want to move one directory back, so I do ls thesis. Well, see that is empty, but imagine that I do ls minus thesis, will complain and will because the command will understand that I'm that these are options rather than the name of the folder. And to create a folder, you can use numbers, letters. It's not recommended to use like a weird characters. I mean, you can use dot, period, or dash, underscore. But yeah, please for folders don't use, or for directories, files, don't use other things, other characters that could be more tricky. Okay, so I have created the folder thesis. I will move to this folder. You see where I am here. And now we will use an editor to create a file. If you're in Windows, Linux, you can use a Notepad, or maybe you have a Visual Studio, or yeah, you can have a graphical user interface. But it's also useful to know how to do it with the with your terminal. So what we will use is we will use Nano. I'm not sure if well, if you use Git Bash, you will have this editor, but you may find that you don't have this editor. But please let me know in the chat, and we can find a solution. If you use nano graph.txt, this is the name that I will, and also the convention that we use here is we use well, the name of the file draft, and normally we put the extension that is .txt. This is used for the operating system mainly. Well, okay, yeah, now it's Linux, Mac, or Windows, to know the file that if we will use plain text, we can use this extension. But we can either not use an extension or use another one. But if we use another one, could be misleading, because if I see that the file is called .txt, I know that this is a plain text. But if I use I don't know, MP3, I could think that this is a song or some audio. No, it's a text file. So yeah, please let's say, make life easier for everyone to. So if I execute the nano draft.txt, you will see that my window changed, and now I have a inline editor. And here I can type, this is the first draft of my MSc thesis, or let's say thesis dot, and if you press enter, you can add another line. This is so you can type something on the file. So yeah, you can start typing, or also is if you use the arrows, you can move. And okay, I have written this, and we will need to learn how to save the file and how to exit this. It's not a problem, but depending on the editor that we use, there are different commands to save, write a file, etc. For Nano, we need to press Ctrl O. That asks us the file name to write, that we have specified before, draft.txt. So we will keep with that name. We press enter, and we get a message that wrote 3 lines. So the 3 lines that we have written are written in the file. And to exit, we need to press Ctrl X. You don't need to remember that, because if you notice on the bottom of the screen, you have some help. So you see that, for instance, Control K is cut, Control U is paste, Control is with this represented with this like symbol. And what you see that the exit is Control X. So if we press Control X, you exit the. So now you do ls, and you see that you have a new file called draft. And yeah, I didn't say before, to print the file, you can use a cat draft.txt, and you see the contents of the file. If for some reason you want to edit the file, you can edit the. That's a. There is a question in the chat asking about the thesis folder. You can either use the folder writing, but what we have done is we have created with the command mkdir. We have created. You will need to type mkdir thesis, and if you press enter, you will have that folder. No, it's not a problem. Yeah, there are a lot of commands. It's not. So with that, we create the file, and we can work with that file and edit the file, etc. I can repeat again. Well, repeat. We have this file. I can edit the text. So if we use the nano draft, when I open the file, we see that we have these contents. And if we want, we can type, and rather than use another, we can say this is the second line. In my file. To save again, like a Control O, enter, and Control X. And if we print again the file, you will see that you have a you have the contents of the file change. Any questions so far, or clear? Cool. So we have learned how to create a directory, how to create a file, and now we will learn how to delete a file. Here you should be careful, because when we use the Unix command line, we don't have a trash folder where when we delete a file, we can recover it. If we delete the file is gone forever. So we will not be able to recover that file. Please bear in mind that, because if I do rm draft, this file will be deleted and will not be we will not be able to recover that file. One thing that I haven't explained is how to create copies. So we can create a copy. So we can use a cp draft.txt, and let's say that we will use backup.txt. So if we do that, we do ls, you see that I have two files, backup and draft. And if I copy, I can also like a cat backup, and you will see that it has the same contents of a draft. For some reason, if I want to, I delete by, well, I will explain like a rm. If I do rm draft, and then I do ls, you see that the draft.txt is gone, and that I was lucky. Here, because I created a backup, I can recover I can use the backup file instead, or I can do another copy, like I can do cp backup.txt draft.txt, and I will have draft, and I will be able to edit the draft. But yeah, please, yeah, this is quite important. If you use RM, please, yeah, be careful, and also be careful. Sometimes you can use in a script. We will explain later when we see how to create a script. You can use this asterisk. So if we do rm this, we will delete all of the contents that are in the folder. A way also is not recommended to use rm in a script, but in case that for some reason you want to use them, there is a way to make it interactive and ask the user if they really want to delete the file. This is using the -i option. So if we do rm-i draft, it will ask us, do you really want to remove a regular file draft.txt? If you answer yes and enter, we'll delete that, but we can answer no with and or no, and yeah, our file will be still there. Is all okay so far? Any questions? Okay, all good. So okay, what else? Okay, we know how to copy files, how to create directories, and now we will learn how to move files. So for instance, if I want to keep this backup file in another folder, I can create that folder and move the file. The way to do that will be mkdir. I can create the folder backup, for instance. And now if I do ls, you will see that I have my folder and 2 files. And to move, you can do mv, that will be like, yeah, sort of a move. And I can move backup.txt to the backup folder. So now if I do ls, you see that the backup.txt has disappeared from that folder. But if I list backup, you will see that the file is there. I move the file. Okay, this is to move files. To rename files, we can use the same command. So we do ls and we call it a draft. If for some reason we want to change the name to don't know, first draft or my draft, for instance, you can do mv draft and you can use my draft.txt. And in that case, if I do now ls, you will see that the name of the file have changed. What else? You should be also careful with the, well, not careful. We have seen how to delete files, but if we want to delete a folder, if we do rm backup, it will complain. It will say that you cannot remove backup, it's a directory. There is also another option that is rmdir backup, but it will fail because rmdir works if the folder is empty. If the folder contains some files, it will not work. So the way of deleting a folder that is not empty, you will need to use rm-r. The minus r means recursive, and the name of the folder backup. Well, doesn't matter. Because in that case, we'll go to the folder, delete all of the contents, and then delete the backup. So if first you execute that, and now you do ls, you will see that my backup has disappeared. I've deleted that, and it's not in a trash folder, or it's gone. So be careful when you delete files, because you will not be able to recover them. There are some. Okay, just to recap, if we want to copy files, the new command that we have learned is cp. mkdir is to create a new folder or directory, and mv is used to either move files or rename them, rm to delete the files, and yeah, this is. Let me check. We are here now in the interviews. Okay, so we are doing good now regarding time. Right. Okay, lost. Yeah, here I am. So now I'm here. The pipeline. Okay, right. Cool. So now what we will do, what we will learn, we have a few minutes before the break. The break is at 11. Will be like a half an hour break. We will start with the how to use pipes, filters. For that, we will need to move to the folder Arcanes, that is in another, the folder. Okay, we are in, if you see, oops. So the folder Arcanes is inside this folder. So we will need to go back twice and then move to Arcanes. So there are several ways that we can use either. Normally what I do is I just type one, well, I type it several times. For instance, I do cd dot dot, cd dot dot, and now in exercise data I do ls, and I see that, yeah, the folder Arcanes is there. So I do cd Arcanes. And now if I do ls, you see that I have these files. You can do it using different, like a few commands. That is not for in my case. Normally, this is the way that I use to. But also another way to do that, you could have a type cd dot dot slash dot dot slash Arcanes, and just with one command, you can move to the directory that you want. But for that, you will need to know your directory structure. Because sometimes in my case, I forget, or there are too many folders. Normally, I like a move, I'm going step by step. Cool. So we are here in this folder that is called Arcanes. We have each, well, you see that here we have some files. These files, you will find that the extension is pdb. that means it's a protein data bank format, but you will find that this is a text file. If you use cat cubane.pdb, you will see that yeah, the contents are text, and you will find the structure. Maybe you are familiar with yeah, with this like a molecules, and you work with these files, you will find them familiar for me. And yeah, not my background is more computer science, so yeah, I'm not that so we have this file, and you see that we have all of the, well, we have like a list of files that all of them are well, we have a cubane, ethane, yeah, we have all of these molecules. Here we will we will run a new command that is called wc. So if we do wc, the file that we have used, cubane.pdb, we will get this output. The output that we get is 20 is the number of lines of the file, 156 is the number of words that that file contains, and the third column is the number of characters that the file contains. This, yeah, well, the name of the file. We can use, if we want to get the same output for each file, we can either type wc ethane, etc. So we can go file by file, but we can use it's called a wildcard. So we can use a cd asterisk dot pdb. Sorry, it's a cd wc, where wc means word count, and we can get for each file that ends with that extension, we can get the output. So you see that we get the number of lines for each file. Well, also we get at the end, this is not a file, this is the total of the. So if we do wc minus help, we can see the options that we have. In case that for some reason we are just interested in the lines, we can use the option -L. Let's try -L dot pdb plus. For instance, in this case, rather than getting the words, characters, etc., I just get this yeah, the number of lines. One thing that I can do is if I want to work with that, or well, I want to save the output of the command that I'm using, I can save it in a file. To save the output, we will need to type the same, the w -L asterisk.pdb, and then I will use the symbol greater than to save the output, to redirect the output to a file. So we will create the file length.txt, and if we execute that, you will see that now I don't have any output here. Rather than, you see that we have executed the same command, because now the thing is that this output will be in this file. So if we do cat length.txt, you will see that the output have been saved there. Okay, see that is 11 a.m. I will stop here and give you a 30-minute break. Yeah, we'll start at 11:30. Please, yeah, take a break and yeah, we'll be back in half an hour. Thanks, and yeah, see you in 30 minutes. Okay, hello everyone again. Hope you had a nice break. Let's continue with the lesson. We will now, yeah, in the second part, we will learn how to use pipes, filters, and do some scripting that you may find useful when you need to process some data. Cool. Okay, I will share again. Share. The idea of this part of the lesson is to explain to you how to that you can concatenate commands. You have a, let's say that you have a file and you can apply several commands or several operations to the same file and get the output that you want. The first step that we have seen is that we have created this file length with the data for each molecule. We have the number of, yeah, well, let's say the size of each molecule. But we see that the size is not shorted. We would like to have, for instance, methane in the first, that would be the smallest one, would be like the first row, and so on. So for this file, we can use the command that is called short, and you can use short length.txt, and you can have this file. Yeah, I'm checking the output. Yeah, seems to work. You may find in the documentation, rather than they use the option -n, because in some other versions of the command, they may detect. I mean, they short by using the like characters, like alphabetical sorting rather than numbering sorting. So the space could detect that. Yeah, I don't know in Unicode what is the position, but I mean, could be the case that the sorting is not done okay. So you will find in the documentation that this is done short -n length.txt. Also, if we see short minus help, you will see in the documentation the option, yeah, here. So yeah, compared according to a string numerical value. Also didn't explain that I'm using -n. I mean, but you see that there is a there is the short option that is a -n, and the long option that is a minus numeric short. You may find in the commands that there are you can have like a short option or a longer option. What is recommended, or when you use when you type, it's easier to use -n rather than the whole. But in the other hand, if you want to write a script or you want to do some you do some documentation, it's recommended to use the longer version. Imagine that you write a script, and if you use a numeric sort, it's clear what the option is, but if you use a -n, it's not that clear. And because you write the script, I don't know, once, and then you could edit it, it's not, let's say, a big deal to write the longer version, and makes it more readable. You may find other options, like I didn't know about that, this month short, in case that you use January, February, in like in this format, in these three. Sometimes it's interesting to see the help, because there are some options that you are aware. Maybe you may find other options that you are not aware. Right. So this is so you have seen that to create the file, we have use a word count and then short. But if we want to do it everything at once, how we can do it is we can do wc was minus l or files call that ends in the .pdb, and we can use this vertical bar, and then use short minus well, we can use -n. So if we execute that, you will see that the output of the file, well, the output of the command, the output of this command is the input of this other command. So this is what this vertical bar means. And you see that when I execute short -n, I don't need to specify any file, because one option is that you can give the input to the command using this vertical bar. Another option that is in the documentation and actually is quite useful to see I mean, I say that it's quite useful. Imagine that you have a file that is crazy big. You can use that option to see the beginning of the file. That this is called head, the command. So if you do head methane.pdb, it will print the first well, no, I should have used octane.pdb. How many lines? I think it's 8. Okay, head by default in this case prints the first 10 lines of the file. If we print the whole file, cat octane, you see that the file is way bigger. Has 26 atoms. All of the is way bigger, but we can use a head just to print the first part of the file, the first 10 lines of the file. Also, you can specify if you want the first 5 lines, you can use -n 5 and the file itself, that is octane. So in that case, you print the first 5 lines. What I sometimes do is you can also use cat octane, and then you use the vertical bar to do the pipe, and then head -n 5. This is also another option. If you want to see the end of the file rather than the beginning, you can use a tail. If you do tail octane.pdb, you see that is the last 10 lines of the file are printed rather than the whole file. Okay, what else would be first thing to see here. Okay, so you can also combine head and tail just to print one of like one line. There are, I don't remember now, but there is a command that you can use, and you can say, look, just print the, for instance, I want to print the second line. You can do, you can use just one command to do that. But there is actually there is a trick to do that using, I think that could be a good exercise. Using this, for instance, using Octane, how can I do just to print this line? The way is just to, well, using a head and tail to just print one that line. I will give you a few minutes. Also, I will write the exercise in the chat. Head and tail. Please print this. Okay, yeah, using head and tail command, please print the second line of octane.pdb. And once that you have the solution, yeah, we can continue. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Also, if you have any questions or any, please use the chat to ask them. Okay, do you know you can paste the solution to the exercise, or you are still working on that? The trick here is to use a pipe. Okay, let's. I see that we have a solution. Let's copy and paste and see if that works. So yeah, one solution could be like you print this file, and then you with head, you just keep the first two lines, and with the tail, you keep the last line of the output. So if you do that, yeah, you can get. So with this, you can combine this. So that's the idea of pipes, that the output of this is the input of this, and the output of all of these is the input. That's why it's called a pipe. Goes from left to right. I would like to explain another command that is in the documentation and could be quite useful. For that, I will need to change the folder. So I will need to do cd dot slash, and I think it's called animals. Also, for instance, if in case that you use a tab and there are several options, if you press twice a tab, it tells you the two options that you can use. So because there are two folders that starts with the letter A. So if you now type the N, it's clear that it's animal count and it's not arcanes. So when you are here, you have a file. You have a file that is a text file, but it's a .csv. It's a comma separated value. Not sure if you have seen this type of file before. If not, we will cut, print the animals. So you see that, yeah, our values, the first column is date, then is the animal name, and the, well, because it's animal count, so I guess that, yeah, the third column is the number of animals that are in a region, for instance. And I'm interested in getting, for some reason, like getting the second column. We have played before, just filtering the rows, but we can also play with the columns. To do that, there is a command that is called cut. Cut, you will need to specify the delimiter, that is a comma minus the comma, that is this delimiter here. Oops. Here. Then you will need to specify the column that you want. I just want the name of the animal, so it will be the second column, so it will be 2. And then I can specify the animal, sorry, the file name. So if you execute that, you will get the second column. And this command is quite useful when you get an output file, or you get some CSV file, or even with the previous files with the arcanes. You can get different columns. You will need to play with the number of the column, and also you will need to play with the delimiter. I see that, yeah, there is a question in the chat about for the exercises. Yeah, we are using this folder with the right. So okay, so just a summary of let me check that. Yeah, okay, we are still okay. We are in a good time. Recap of commands that we have seen in this part is WC, that is the count of lines, words, and characters of a file that we can use even this. You see that we have 8 lines. Well, yeah, 8 words. Normally, for instance, yeah, WC, I normally use it for the number of lines. That sometimes, for instance, when you use a CSV file, you see that yeah, each line is like a observation. So you can get, you need a number of lines for some reason. If you use cut, you display the content of the file. You can use sort to sort the file. Using head and tail, you can get the first part of the last part of the file. To write something on a file or to save the output of a file, you can use the greater than symbol. What I will do is I will move back to alkanes. And you might remember that to create a length, we have used, we can create it again, minus L tar dot, dot pdb. Also, we can apply sort minus n and write the output in a length dot txt. If I use cut, you will see the contents. So you will find the documentation. What if I use like a double arrow or double breakdown? Rather than overwriting the contents of the file, it will append them to the end. So if I execute that, you will see that the file is you will find it duplicated on the you'll find it duplicated on the file. Well, we have seen the pipe. The pipe is using this vertical bar. You can concatenate commands, and yeah, that's it. We will now we will learn a little bit about loops and scripts. We will see that these pipes are useful and are quite good to. I use them every day when I need to work with the files or with the check the contents, etc. Okay, so for the next lesson, okay, I see that there is a. Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, I see that there is a question in the chat, and also I see that Melissa, you have a question, or just like a click on the. Okay, so I will. What I will do is I will repeat there is a question in the chat that is repeating the command cat and yeah, we will continue with the for loop. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so CD, I will move back to the folder called animal count. If we do pwd, you will see that we are in share lesson data, in exercise data, and animal count. Right, so we have a ls, we see that we have one file called animals.csv, and if I cut that file, you will see that we have a CSV file. And I show you that the command cat could be useful to get, rather than rows, you can get columns of the command. If we cat minus help, you will see the different that you have. We will use the delimiter. That again, you can use the short format of the longer one, and we will use the fields that we want to print. So if I do cat minus t, the delimiter in the previous file, I will paste it again, are commas. So I can do cat minus t, comma. So I specify that the delimiter between each part of data or text is a comma, minus f is the column number, that will be the number 2. Or I can get the count, I can get, let's see, minus 3, and the name of the file. So for instance, in that case, I get the count of it, let's say that maybe the total of animals. Also, I can get, if I'm interested on the date, to see what the study, I can do that. There is an option that I haven't explained, that you can also use the command unique, and it will tell you the different the unique entries that you have in the file. So if you use unique, will tell you that you have three different dates. You should be careful also with unique. I think this is in the documentation, that the output needs to be the input of unique must be sorted. Otherwise, if it is not short, you may have there could be like some duplicates. Hope it's clear. And if yeah, in case that you want to use other options, you can always check the documentation. You will find yeah, all the options that you have. Cool. So now we will learn a little bit about the script, how to do some scripting and use for loops. The idea of for loops is when we have several files, rather than using the same command for each file, you can use a for loop. You can say for each file that is in this folder, please do the following. And you can go through the, we will see now an example of that. But for that, we will need to move to a previous folder. That this is, I think the folder will be creatures. Creatures. And here I have three creatures: basilisk, minotaur, and unicorn. Let's open unicorn, or well, print the unicorn and see what it contains. Ooh. Okay, looks like a DNA. Well, you see that this is like a long. So, okay, so yeah, you see the first row is the common name, second, classification, update, and then you see a lot of, I imagine that this is a DNA sequence or DNA, yeah, DNA sequence. For instance, imagine that you are only interested in the first part, or just want to see just to print the common name. So what we can do is, how we can do that? Have this. So we can create a script. So to create a script is we will use nano. Let's say how we will call it, a filter, for instance, .sh. So if I have that script, I would like to use a for loop. For loop, the syntax of the format is I will first type how it looks like, and then we will edit the. So it's for that's a good question in the chat. I'm using sh because it's like a short of a shell. So this is what I call the script file .sh. Some people, because we will use bash, some people call it the file .bash. Or even some people don't even use. So it's up to you, either sh or bash, or this is just to indicate the type of command, the type of language that we will use. You will see tomorrow when we use Python that the files will finish on that py. That is like the Python extension. It's to indicate the programming language that you use to write the script of the software. So the format of for loop is for let's say thing in list of things. Then you in a new line you write do. You make some indentation here to type the command, and to finish the for loop you type done. So this will be the structure of the file that you will use. I see that a message in the chat that in the screen is everyone can see the file that I'm typing, or okay, yeah, could be some, yeah, network could be a little bit tricky. Let me check. Okay, it's working okay. Yeah, since that I changed the broadband provider, and since that the router is better, because normally I have issues with the Wi-Fi, but since that this time, well, I should keep quiet, because maybe, yeah, I start to get some issues, but yeah, now it seems that it's working all well. Okay, so let's edit this. Let's see, structure of for loop. Here is for when I say list of things, I will be list of files. So my files are in the dot. Well, I can specify the files. I can say basilisk.dat, minotaur.dat, and unicorn.dat. So I can write something like that for a file in, and here the list of files that I want to use. That in this case I have a list of 3 files. Well, I forgot to mention that if a line starts with this hash symbol, means that this is a comment. So let's type a comment. Is print the first line of the above list of files. And here what I will do is head minus n1, because I only want the first line of dollar symbol file. Here this is a variable. So in the for loop, this variable, you will have like there will be 3 iterations, because you have 3 files. So in the first iteration, the value of a file will be this file. In the second iteration will be this file, and in the third iteration will be this file. Is clear this? What we will do now is we will save the file. So with Control O, I wrote 5 lines, and then Control X. So we will see ls. You will see that you have 3 files. Well, the 3 files that we have, and we have also the file called filter.sh. I can print the file, cat filter.sh, and you can see the contents. So now if I execute using bash filter.sh, you see that you print the first line of the file. Is everyone in the same page? Everyone get this output? Yeah, in case that I'm going too fast, or you need more time or something, please let me know. I'll be happy to go slower and go again through the I'm trying to think about an example to okay, let's play with the file. We can use nano to For instance, a Nano, one thing that it has is that it doesn't have like I think this version we don't have a syntax highlight. Sometimes when you use another editor, you can get some colors to see the keywords. Also in this for loop, you can add more lines. You can say you can print, for instance. Yeah, I didn't teach that. To print something, you can use to print the value of a variable. You can use the name echo and say file, for instance. And now if you save the file and you execute it again with the bash filter, you will see that the first line you print the name of the file, and then you print the common name of the name of the file, the common name, like this three times. The thing is, well, for instance, here you have the list of 3 files. This could be okay, but imagine that you have 20 files, so you have this could be a little bit. So here you can use a wildcard. So you can say that for all of the files that end in the data, you can execute this. You will go through the loop. I'm trying to find other examples. Let me. Yeah, actually, it's kind of. What can we do? We can also like a print and see, for instance, the first 3 lines that are the most. So if we save that, and now we execute the bash filter, you will print the first common name, classification, and updated. Also, if for some reason you just want to get the common name, you can use the command that we have used before, cat. Or you can also just like get the dates. Let me check if I find a. I'm trying to find an exercise, but yeah, I don't see. You can also tell them like the $C-L file will tell you the length of the file. Control X. Oh well, okay. See that all files are the same. Have 163 lines. Or even you can filter them if in case that you just want to get the you can delete the first 3 lines of the file. So an advantage also of use a script is that now when you publish a paper or when you send something for a conference, you will need to explain what you have done. You need to specify the steps that you have done with the data, also specify the data that you have used, etc. So if you send this nano filter.sh, they can see what you have done. Well, this is a simple file, but in case that you do some calculations, or you imagine that here you are using a software related with the DNA sequencing, and then you are filtering some sort of, you can do everything with you can do that with a shell script, and be clear of the steps that you have followed. Let me check if I'm forgetting something. Okay, yeah, I forgot to mention that this is interesting. In this case, for instance, we have if we use this script, it will work. So we use a bash filter.sh, and we get but imagine that I'm using for instance, I have a file, unicorn, and I have a file with a space, my unicorn dot get. So I will make a copy of this creature, and if you do ls, you will see that we have now 4 rather than 3. And this one, you see that you have like the quotation marks because there is a space here. So in that case, if I now run again my script with the bash filter.sh, it doesn't work. For if you see with my unicorn head said that cannot open MI. Yeah, it's not working. Why? Because the file contains a space. A way to solve that problem is if I use quotation marks here, like a double quotation marks, well, here, and here. I could add also like here more comments, print file name, and print a number of lines. Something like that. Yeah, should work. Yeah, let's try. Control save, Control X. Well, Control save is like a Control O, Control X. And now if I execute again the file with the bash filter.sh, now it works. Yeah, because you get now I can use it. That's why it's recommended that not to use spaces, because for scripting could be a little bit tricky. Okay, that's interesting. For some in case that you want to search or to repeat a command that you have used before, you can use Control R. So if you type Control R, the prompt change, and you see that is you have a reverse I search. So at the moment that you type B, it will find the latest command that starts with the latest command that you have executed that starts with the letter B. So you will see bash filter. Also, if you type a B again, sorry, Control R again, we will find like the previous command that contains B. So it's a way to remember, in case that, for instance, this command that is quite long, remember the command that you have typed. You press Ctrl+C and you exit. Let me check the chat. Okay, these are good questions. So let's open again the nano voice nano filter. One of the questions is that because we are taking all of the files that are in my folder and we are doing this processing of printing the file name, the first line of the, well, let's see the first 3 lines and the number of lines. If you see here, the filter that we have set is all the files that end in the .date. That's why the .sh is out of the loop. In case that I specify that, we will have a problem because, that we will use the .sh as well, but we don't want to use that. We want to use this just to use the files that are .date. It's also explained that this symbol, the asterisk, is could be one or more characters. But in case that there is a character that imagine that we have this. That means that there is a character that we don't know what it is. So if we use that, we will process file 1, file 2, file A, file Z. So this is this file will be any. Cool. So that's was a good question. I forgot to explain that. Okay, let's make this let's see if it still works as filter.sh. Okay, I forgot to mention. Okay, so let's make another version of this. Okay, let me see what is. An interesting thing of Shell script is that you can also send arguments to this script. Let me show you an example. Let's edit. No, is to edit this nano filter. What I want to do. Well, we can also let's leave this script like that. Also, in case that you press Ctrl X and you don't save the file, they will ask you save modify buffer, yes, no, or cancel. I don't want to save the changes, so I press no. Fine. We will create another that could be imagine print. Let's call it this script print nano print.sh. So in this script, what we can do is we will print the first line of a file, for instance. So we do head minus n1, and the file that will be, let's go step by step, unicorn.dat. So if we save that, Control O, Control X, if I do bash print.sh, it will print common name unicorn. So in case that rather than specifying the file, you can say print, you can do something like that, unicorn.dat. Or a Minotaur, you can specify the file. If you want to do that, you can do it. You open again the file, nano print.sh, and you can say, you can use a $1. That means the first argument that you send to the shell script, or the bash script, sorry. If we do that, is Control O, Control X. So now we need to specify, if we do bash print.sh, and I need to specify the file. Now here, if I change the file, Minotaur, you see that the output change. And also I can use what I can, another example, nano print.sh. Can use a second argument. So if you do that, you will print a second argument, and you will print a dollar symbol, and 2. 2 is the second argument of the. So if you do Control O to save the changes, and then Control X, and you do now bash print, you can say the name of the file, Minotaur, and you can say a number. You will print, well, you will use the file, print the first line, and the second argument will be a number or whatever you specify, 2, 3, 4. This is in case that also I think $0, I think, is the name of the script. We can see if that's true or not. I'm not sure if this is a script name. Yeah, $0 normally is the name of the script. This one will be $1, and this will be $2. That is like the second argument. If for some reason you need to specify, you can also specify like several file names. Let me check if this works. Okay, you can do that, for instance, and for each file, that prints the first line. To do that is this is everything in the documentation, so you can always go back, and because also this is recorded, you will be able to find what we have done. Say nano print. So, well, okay, I want to print the script name. I will want to get rid of this, so I will delete that. So if I do $@ means all the arguments that I specify. So now if I save that, Control O, Control X, I will print to show you the contents of the. So you see the script name is $0 here. And then what I want is I want to get the first line of all of the arguments that I specify. So this is a bash print.sh, unicorn, and a minotaur, for instance. So you see in this case I can specify several names. I'm not sure if I don't specify any. Oops, get okay, the command gets waiting. Yeah, that doesn't work. So yeah, you need to specify at least one file. You can also repeat again the. Oops, but you see that you have a. Yeah, because I specify, yeah, I got a typo here, so you get this error. Also, normally, it depends, but here, for instance, when you get an error, don't panic. Just if you read the error, is head cannot open unicorn.py for reading no such file of a directory. Explains that, yeah, the file doesn't exist. Sometimes the errors could be quite tricky, could be, don't know, remember I was getting error code 1 or something like that, like a kind of, yeah, was not useful at all. And this was after 6 months trying to find out what the error was that there was not enough memory in the system. But in this case, for instance, the error is is easier to read. Any questions so far? Or you would like to try something else with the script? Yeah, because here the thing is normally what, yeah, okay, I see that there is a question in the chat that what is $@ indicate. This is when the whole list of arguments that we have. Actually, I will make this, let's edit the script. Sorry, the script was called print. So it's echo arguments. So if I do, well, for instance, this one. So you see that $0 is this, and $@ is all of the arguments. That could be 1, 2, 3, 4. In case that is not a list of files and you want, like the first argument is the name, the second argument is a number, etc., you can always use like a $1, $2, etc. So $@ is in case that you want to get the whole list of arguments. That's interesting. I see another comment in the chat that it's not there. Exactly. These are the problems that when you use spaces, and that's why it's recommended not to use spaces on, like when you use this the shell of Unix or Linux, or because makes things more difficult. When you type CP unicorn, let's say I want to call it second unicorn, for instance. Second unicorn dot dat, and you get CP target unicorn dot dat is not a directory. I forgot to specify that for CP, if because there is a space here, share understands that these and these are not connected, are different. So what CP tries to do is copy these and these to this. That is like a kind of understand that is a directory. If you want to use a space, or I don't know, you will need to use double quotation marks, something like that, or single quotation marks is in this case is same. So if now if you execute that, it works, and when you do ls, you will see that you have a now you have a two file, well, yeah, a file but with a space. Okay, so good. Cool. Okay, so let me see if I am forgetting something. So I didn't explain that, but when you open, well, you will see me sometimes that I write VI because this is another editor that, but yeah, we are not using it here. And now print. Here also you can specify, in case that you have another script, you can say also bash my script.sh. So inside a script, you can call another script. And I will explain that this is a little bit more advanced and is not in the documentation, but just in case that you have it here for reference. You may find that some scripts have this. That indicates that the script is written in bash, and if you don't specify bash, you are telling the operating system that the language of the script. So if you write that this is a bash key exclamation symbol /bin/bash. Let's do this like a test. If you save it like that, and now you can also give. We were talking before about permissions, the execute permissions. If you do ls-l, oh, okay, this is well, we see that we already have X permissions. Normally we don't have them, but well, this is like a different. Git bash is like a different. If you use other terminals, maybe you don't have that. In that case, you will need to do chmod u plus x and the name of the file. This means that for the user, you grant execute permissions. And when you have that, you can now use print .sh unicorn. And you see that here I'm using the name of the script with the, well, you need to add that at the beginning rather than using bash print .sh unicorn. Are two different ways of doing the, let's say, the same. But if my point is, if you want to use that you will need to specify at the beginning of the file the language that you have used, or well, the is that well, maybe it's not. Hopefully, it's clear. If not, please let me know what is. I'm explaining to you this just to have it as a reference in case that in the future you work with some scripts and you see this line to explain to you what that line means. Yeah, any other questions regarding scripts? Okay, so we are doing very good on time. The last part of the lesson is called finding things. So we will learn two commands that are grep and find. And yeah, I think we'll finish the lesson in time. But yeah, we still have still some. Okay, I see that there is a question. Yeah, that if I open nano print, this is in case that you don't specify because okay, let me get back. If I do bash print unicorn, here I'm using this software bash to execute this script. But there is another way that you can use the scripting itself without specifying bash. If you do that, you will need to specify the command that you want to call. So you do it. I mean, this is not in the in the documentation, so don't worry. This is just in case that in the future you find scripts that contain that line. So it's a nano print. You will need to add this line to the that I will admit, confess that it took me years to remember that it was like a hash key and then because sometimes I was writing the other way around. So if you add that line, you can execute the script using this rather than this. This is the only difference. Is that yeah? Okay, so last part of share is quickly. So okay, now I need to move to the writing folder that is in exercise data. So I can do cd, the bar. And for instance, in case that I don't know the folders that are in that, I can press twice tab. And I see that I have arcades, account features, writing. So I want to move to writing. And I have well, the folder that I created before, thesis, little women and haiku. I think the one that we will use is yeah, haiku. So let's so haiku is yeah, okay. So I see that I have a haiku there. So grep is this command grep normally is used to filter the lines that are in a file. So if I want to see for instance, I want to filter the line that contains today. I could say grep today and the name of the file. What that means is that I use, command is grep. Today is that print the lines that contains today. So if you see this line doesn't contain today, not this one, not this one. This is the only line. So you print the what else we can do? Grep, for instance, is haiku. So you see that print the lines that contain the word is. What is? We can also use the. But for instance, in this case, in the, if I use the, print this line and also print the thesis, because the thesis contains THE. But in case that we want to get the word rather than like a part of the line, we will need to specify grep minus W the and the name haiku. And now filters that. Normally, what I do, for instance, is well, you can use it like that, but you can also use a pipe. Cat haiku grep today and filters the. Grep is quite useful also for the first line. Normally, what I do, sorry, I need to move back to the creatures. If I do have unicorn, if I want to print a classification, common name, etc., rather than using minus, rather than using head, what I do is I do cat unicorn grep name, and I got this, or grep updated, and I get this. So normally I do it when I do some benchmarking, or I do some I'm interested in the time. So normally what I do is I put grep time and I get the line that said total time this or total time or like a result. So grep is quite useful, and they have a lot of options that you can see in the, if we go to the documentation. Okay, options that I normally use. Well, -C can tell you the line that is in the file in case that is a big file or you want to edit this for some reason. No, -C is the. No, sorry, I'm confusing that with the -N. -N print the line number with the output lines. So for instance, if I go back, ls cd, no, writing haiku, we said grep -N is haiku. Yeah, prints. Yeah, in the line, in the number 1, number 7, 10, and 11. And we see that again here we have, well, not a problem, but it's, that the thesis, because contain is, we can also say -N. Okay, we can either do this -N -W, or we can make this together and save. There are two ways. You can use like twice the -N -W, or group them together. Oh, okay, this is like a case that, for instance, we would need to use the current directory in case that we want to use, we can use a recursive -r and find the word yesterday in all of the files that are here in my current directory. So if I do that, you will see that in the file haiku, we have a line that contains a yesterday, and also in a Little Women, that I think this is a book, we found that there are three lines that contains a yesterday. Again, it's a grep. The option is a recursive -r. I specify the word, and here I need to specify the directory. In that case, I specify the current directory. That also you can specify, the easier ways. There are other ways to specify the current directory, but this is the easiest one, the using dot. Yeah, okay, so yeah, just checking useful things. Okay, talking about grep, the next command is find. So if you do find point, gives you all of the files that are in your current directory. So find you have in my current directory, have a haiku, Little Women, have thesis. Well, this is like a directory, and I have thesis my draft.txt. I can also say I just want the -type. I just want the directories. So -type d. In that case, only list the directories. If you want to list the files, it's a find dot type -f. Also, rather than dot, you can specify thesis, like the folder. Type f, and also you can specify the name of the file. Find here my draft.txt. Let's see if that works. Sorry, I need to specify that the -name is my draft.txt. I forgot to specify the option, this option here. Okay, this is easy because I'm in but imagine that I'm in like in a previous location. I have here all of these folders. I don't remember now what is my draft. So if I type find here, like in this starting from my current directory, my draft -name, my draft.txt, tells you that is in tells you the relative path of from here. So the relative path will be in writing, so it will be here. Oops. Then thesis, and then my draft.txt. Or the script that we have created before, I don't remember now what it is. So I can do find name, well, or the scripts that I have, I can do ampersand, sorry, ampersand, *.sh, and will tell me that I have in creatures, I have a filter.sh and print.sh. Also, I can find the txt files that I have in but I think it doesn't go if I do -r. No, it's -r. There is an option that is to do it recursive, or maybe there are, okay. No, there should be. It's not. I don't know why it's not. Should find as well the others. Okay. I need to specify the. I need to put the double quotation marks to search the rest of the. Because if you see here, yeah, just to find the. I need to specify double quotation marks if I want to do. Because yeah, by default it's a recursive. Okay, maybe this is something related with this git pass. Okay, last two things before we finish is the with grep. I forgot to mention that. Let's move to writing. If I do, we were doing grep. W is in haiku. So it tells me the lines that contain is. But what if I want the lines that doesn't contain that don't contain is? I can use v. I think, yeah. With the v tells you that is the lines that doesn't contain is. Well, you will find here that this one contains is, but it's a capital E. In this case, because the search is a case sensitive, we will need to do the grep like a case sensitive. That I will need to check the option. Is okay. For instance, grep is quite useful when you do a grep and have to search in the documentation. You can write a case. So yeah, but grep case. Exactly, it's -I. So it's I. Yeah, and in this case, in this output, I don't get. Oops, sorry. Yeah, if I specify I, you see that this line is, oops, sorry, this line is not in the. And what I said before is that if we do ls, well, if I like find dot, I get this. Another option, in case that you want to specify use the output command, is like you can use pwd. So you can do find this, and inside the brackets the command pwd. well, you get a bit because rather than point, normally you get the relative path, but in this case you get the absolute path because you are specifying here the whole this rather than the point. Okay, so yeah, this is what I wanted to cover in today. Any questions? We have still 2 minutes for questions before 1 p.m. Everything that I have explained in this last half an hour is on the documentation, so you can always have a look, and the recording will be available sometime soon, so you can always go back and see. Also, in case that, yeah, feel free to contact me this afternoon in case that you have any questions or anything, or if not, tomorrow we will start playing with the Python. Please install Python on your laptop, and we will use it. I see no more questions. Yes, well, that's a good question. Documentation is here. Sorry, where is that? I will send you the course page where everything is there. So there in that link, you have the documentation of the 5 days. So the documentation of today, tomorrow, etc. And also you will find my email address there in case that you want to be in touch. Okay, so I think it's lunch time. Thanks again for joining today. Yeah, tomorrow we will learn a little bit more about Python. Yeah, have a nice rest of the day. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Thank you.